Yeah, the update is there. If you don't mind, I'll just do my little update and then I'll sign off.
Okay. Let me actually get the
Yeah, get the
agenda for the meeting. But I
weekly
think that
meeting.
should be fine. You can just go ahead. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay, cool. So I'm working on three big things. Number one is the mobile version of the site. Uh, Number two and three is fitting the IA of the upcoming Firefox OS and the marketplace support into the existing IA that we have, because the marketplace is going to be different. It's going to have like categories, billions, and Firefox OS is app-centric support. So
Hey, Ron.
go
Ron,
ahead.
your I guess the connection in New Zealand is equally poor or something, because you're still having the same issues with your every other word is kind of breaking off. So I don't know if it's your microphone or lack of headset, but it's still difficult to hear what you're saying.
Okay, let me see if I best quality.
You should cancel
Is
the
it
X
still breaking up?
cancellation.
Yeah, it's breaking up.
Shoot.
Shoot.
Well, the connection's great. I'm actually viewing. Well, let me see if I can make it better by just turning the video off. Is this better?
Yeah, I think it's the echo cancellation, Brad. It's
Yeah,
like
I think
the
you need to
symptoms
get
are
a
pretty clear.
just get a headset.
Yeah. Get a headset, turn off echo cancellation, and it shouldn't be a problem. So for this
Okay,
meeting,
cool.
let's try without.
For
But
next time. Yeah,
yeah,
I think that.
Rosanna is right.
No, I just saw this post by. I saw a post about how if you should buy a headset, or otherwise some guy will come and make your manager approve whatever. So
Yeah,
this funny
I mean, if
post
you don't have
about,
a headset, you just get it. Just file an IT ticket or whatever. It's the easiest thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let me see if
It makes a huge difference.
see if I get a headset in the room. Just be right back. Be right back.
Okay, let's talk about other stuff in the meantime. So we have a SUMO development update slot. I don't think that Ricky is here, right? So you can just read off the wiki. If there's anything else we need to discuss, we can talk about it. Roundtable. Septab, do you want to start? You're the first item on the agenda.
Hi guys, can you all hear us?
We can hear you.
People have been asking me on Facebook and other methods about the live chat. Can we get an update on it? Because I see we're getting people asking on it as well in the forums.
Yeah, Madalena, Rosanna, do you want to take that or do you want me to take it?
Well, I think this was discussed before about live chat, that for now it's on hiatus, so nothing is happening with it. I don't know if there are any other updates. But,
Wow, we can't hear
Madalena. Yeah, we can't hear you.
you cannot hear me? Okay.
Do you also not have a headset?
No, she does.
I do.
I can barely see it. Try again, please.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it okay now? Am I clear enough?
It's much better now.
Okay. I didn't change anything, so that you know.
Okay. That makes it even better. All right.
Okay, so I was saying that for now, live chat is put on hold, so it's on hiatus. Nothing is happening with it, because from the analysis that was made back then, it was understood that it's not a big help. So I'm not sure if anybody else has any comments about it, especially from the old team, because we weren't here when this happened. So.
Yeah,
Sapta, I don't really have anything else to add. We are prioritizing in terms of user-to-user support. We're prioritizing the forum right now. We don't have the resources to start live chat, and you know the the decisions for shutting down live chat hasn't changed. It's the same reason today as it was when we made the decision. The platform is insufficient, and we lack resources to spend on improving it. So really, that is unfortunately the update. Nothing has changed.
Setup, but I understand that you get all of these questions because you have you're talking to contributors that are very willing to be contributing in that kind of form, which was live chat, right?
Yeah.
I was just wondering if there is any impediment to get these contributors to contribute more on the forums. If you think that there's a challenge, or if there's any way that we can help, so that we can have our chat helpers maybe helping a little more in the forums, using more Army of Awesome, and so that was my question to you, because you seem to know a lot about our live chat contributors, and you talk a lot to them.
Well, guys, the problem with forums is they're all from different time zones and that. It'd be good if I had like a built-in live chat to the forums, even like for people, if you know what I mean.
I'm not sure what you mean about the different time zones and forums.
Like you can get like ones that pop up like when you're on the forums and that, which we can integrate to the forums, such as Zoopin, I believe.
I'm sorry, I still didn't understand. I think for me, one of the nice things about forums is that they're very asynchronous, so you can answer questions
Hey, Elon.
whenever it's convenient for you,
Sure.
and we may be asleep when that's happening, or not up yet, or what I was saying is you can get so
Yes.
you're saying, so you're not really online at the same time the person who's asking the question is online. Is that the problem?
Well, the people that's been asking me is from like India and that, from the Mozilla India community.
Sorry, Sadaf, can you say that again?
People that's asking is from different time zones, like from India, for example.
Okay.
India, right? Sadaf, India.
Yes. I believe one of the contributors were actually looking at integrating it with IRC, I believe there was talks.
So, Rosanna, does that answer your question on possibility of?
Yeah, I was trying to understand. I'm really sorry, Sadaf. I think that there's a problem in the connection, because I only get a piece of what you said. So, let me put it. So one problem is that it's not so fast for the helpers because people aren't online at that moment. Is that true?
Yes. We're just talking
Okay. Okay. So I was thinking that like that's definitely that can definitely be tackled in some way. Maybe we can come up. I don't think that we have to do it in this meeting, but maybe we can come up with hours where people seeking for help go to the forums, and the live chat helpers go, and at the very same time they're we try to do the live chat but in the forum, so that people can get responses very quickly. That could be an approach, so that we could use the forums more like the live chat. I don't know if you would like to think about it, and maybe we can like gather more ideas and see if that can work out.
Yeah, Rosanna, I like your angle of trying to figure out what could we change or do differently to make people who previously used live chat be more interested in using either Army of Awesome on the forum. I think that that's the right approach, because the fact of the matter is that really none of the reasons why we put live chat on hold has changed. So from our point of view, that decision is not changing today. So I think it's a good point of view, and I'm wondering if Rosanna or maybe Madalena, if one of you guys could maybe start a discussion or pick up that discussion with this new frame set of how, what would it take, or what changes could we do in the forum, either culturally or functionally, to make it more interesting for people who previously used live chat to use it. And then we could pick up the discussion from there, because as Rosanna says, the connection in this meeting seems to be poor. I don't know if on what end it's struggling, but it's hard to hear what people are saying.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. We should take this discussion offline, or maybe on the computer forums, and we can see how we move further with it.
Okay. Can I, is that on your to-do list, Madalena?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, setup. So if you agree, let's try to find out how we can make it better for the previous live chat community to work with the forums, and maybe we can start at this point and find other solutions. Do you think that would be a good starting point, so that we?
Yes, it would be a good starting point. Another thing about the forums is what I believe about the live chat is what they could put in. They didn't have to put in, like, they just had to put their name in and that. The only bad thing about the new forums is you have to log in every single time. That's why I think they're not liking it.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the logging in for the forums for people looking for help. I think that's something that is being worked on for the new through the new Ask a Question flow.
Michael.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I
can't
couldn't
see
hear
me.
what you said.
Oh.
So I couldn't hear you.
Sorry.
Can you repeat that?
I said I think if SetDev was talking about the login issue for users looking for help in the forum, that's something being worked on in the new Ask a Question flow.
Sorry, so we were discussing in this room, so I'm not sure where we are in the roundtable. Are we still talking about live chat, or did we move to the next topic item? I'm sorry.
I thought we were finishing up the live chat discussion still.
Oh, so we've ended that discussion, and Madalena's gonna create a discussion about framing it around forum and Army of Awesome changes that we can do to make it more interesting. So the next item that I see, what are the chances of getting a weekly digest of emails instead of straight away? I don't understand what this means or who wrote it. Can someone clarify?
It was actually me that wrote it. I mean, like, do you know how, like, on the lists you can get, like, an email, like, of every single thing you posted on?
Are you talking about the contributor forums, or?
Yes, well, the contributor forums.
So you want to get like a weekly digest of everything that has been going on the contributor forum, as opposed to like emails each time something is going on? Is that
yes.
Okay.
SetDev, I think you're asking for a couple feature requests or like requests here, and I think in terms of just maybe a point of procedure in the future, it'd be pretty helpful to us as a team if you actually articulate exactly what you want and why you want it in the notes. I think because right now trying to explain it over the phone when the connection to this port is kind of hard for us to understand what you're asking for, like, explicitly.
Yeah.
So I think next week, if you have, or maybe we can table this particular discussion to next week, and you can write down exactly what you want, what the concerns are, and maybe we can work from something like that rather than just like a one-liner.
Yeah, we can also ask Ricky offline if this is something that could be easily done or not, set up, and then get back to you.
Yeah, and also if it's a discussion that doesn't have to happen synchronously, then you could also just start a discussion thread in the contributor forum, and we could reply there. That frees up more time because these meetings are expensive in the sense that everyone is online at the same time. So for the sake of speeding things up, it would make more sense probably for some of these topics to just just create a discussion thread in the contributor forum, and then we can have the discussion asynchronously there. All right. Same with the next question. The last one, Mozilla community support page on Facebook.
Yeah, so I can answer to that. So SATAV, we're actually making some efforts of making Facebook support better with Mozilla. So I think that here, if you and I could take this offline and sit down and talk about it, because I can tell you exactly what we have been trying to do, and maybe we can integrate what you guys have been doing until now in our strategy for Facebook for this quarter. So again, it's a really long discussion for this month, so take it offline. We're in time zone, so I think it would be okay for us to just have a over Skype of okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
Want to do that?
Hey, SatDev, didn't you have a? Did we just say to do this later? But didn't you have a presentation or something?
There is a presentation, but the wiki doesn't seem to be working.
The wiki's not working. You can't link it. Is that what
Well,
you're
I'm
saying?
trying to update it just now, so
I can paste it in Pound Sumo.
I'll do that as well, also now. That's it in Pound Sumo.
Yeah.
Are we waiting for Sata to share slides, or what's happening?
There's a link in Pound Sumo.
There's a link in Pound Sumo. Oh.
SatDev, did you want to try to share your screen, or do you want us to just follow along at the link?
So try and share the same screen. I'm just trying to get used to this. Share the...
There we go.
It's basically just a basic PowerPoint now.
So this is the community site that you're running on Facebook.
Yes. The link to it is we'll put in Pound Sumo over there.
There we go. Facebook.com/Mozilla support.
And William is actually on the team. William from marketing.
Oh, William Reynolds from marketing. He helps you with this?
Yep. Yes.
Can you show us the second slide?
It's just of all the team in that who's doing it with their IRC names.
Right.
Cool. Okay. Oh, I see. So these people are answering questions on that Facebook page. They're answering support questions.
Yes, we get them quite a lot, so we do.
I see. Cool.
That's good.
So do you guys try to point them to Sumo for like articles to answer their questions, or do you try to do back and forth with them on Facebook and answer questions that way?
We usually just try and back and forth.
Using chat, Facebook chat.
No, we'll just be posting.
Just by posting. I can't bring up that last slide. Something about number of likes and stuff. There it is.
We're beginning to pick up an echo here.
Yeah, we do. I'm gonna mute.
Is that from you, Michael?
I don't know.
No.
There we go. So 264 likes since you started. You get Firefox Thunderbird questions.
Well, I can help with Thunderbird. That they know how to find me.
Hey, Sadab. So one thing that we found out with the Army of Awesome is that it's easier to point people to Sumo articles than to try to go back and forth in a system not really designed for back and forth. And so if you look at almost every single Sumo article, Swarnarva added short links to the bottom of them that you can copy and paste to send people to articles. Not that it's, you can actually paste long links in Facebook. I guess it's not that big of a deal, but anyway, there's that. So I just wanted to point that out. But this is cool that you guys do this.
Yeah, Michael, that's a good point. In terms of giving high quality support and making sure that people get localized content, it's easier to just send them to a Sumo article. But yeah, I agree. It's awesome that you guys are helping people. So how many people are actually supporting users from on this page?
If you look on,
We've actually got to say, I'll just show up the slide again. It's on the setting page.
there we go.
So you said you've got about 264 likes since you started.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an estimate of about how many people a week you actually interact with?
Well, we're getting quite a lot now, so we're, especially ever since the update, we're actually having one person constantly asking if Firefox is going to be like Google Chrome.
I mean, I think those would be really interesting numbers if you guys have something like that. I'd love to see that.
Yep.
I just have a quick. Sorry, I wanted to ask one quick thing. Which, I mean, this is great that we're doing this support right now, and I was wondering, is there any particular asks you have from us as a team, Satnam? It's like, are there things that you would like us to do to help you, or are there things that we could do to make your life easier? Anything like that? Trying to push this, trying to move this forward a little bit.
Well, can we actually integrate, we've actually got to set up the admins and that. Can we actually maybe, if I give use the admin on, we can actually add more contributors to the page to help out. Or can we link to it from the actual Sumo site?
Oh, to link to it from the Sumo site?
Can we do that, do you know?
I think that's something we'd have to discuss, but
Yeah.
because I think one of the things we want to do is to make sure that people go from places like Facebook or Twitter to Sumo as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah.
If they're already on Sumo, we'd like them to just ask their question in the forum so that lots of people can see the answer. That kind of thing.
Yeah, the tools that are on SUMO are particularly more targeted to help users than Facebook. So it's great that we give help to users or provide help to users wherever they are. In this case, Facebook. But if they're already in SUMO, I don't see the benefit, and maybe Santa has sees some benefit that we don't. And if you can formulate those, maybe you can help us to make a better decision.
Right.
But it sounds like, Santa, that you want more visibility for this project, and there might be other ways of getting that visibility that aren't necessarily directly from linking from the SUMO site. So it's perhaps what we should do is sit down and like figure out exactly what the problem you want to solve is, and I'm just listening. It seems like you just want to solve a kind of a visibility and kind of officialness problem. And what we can do is we can work with maybe the engagement team and figure out what other ways we can, make your site and your project more visible without, not necessarily just doing the SUMO site linking one. Maybe there are other ways that might work better.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that we should do that in the context of Facebook support period. I know that Madalena has kickstarted a project very recently on more like Army of Awesome, which is pointing people to the SUMO website. So I'm interested in understanding how this particular kind of user-to-user support effort compares with that, and how they relate to each other. And that might be slightly too wide a scope for this meeting. And so again, I think it would be good to have that discussion happening in the contributor forum, so we can all participate and understand the backgrounds of this project. So Santa, is there anything? Yeah, go ahead.
One of the main reasons we actually started up, because we actually seen a lot of people asking on the main Firefox page for support. That's one of the main reasons why we started up with Designated Support one. We get an actual one that just now knows quite a lot so than us.
Right, I think one of the biggest things that you might be able to do with Facebook support is answer is point people on the regular Firefox page to SUMO, because anytime they post anything like, hey, like this if you like Firefox, and people do that, but then they also say, hey, my Firefox is slow, oh, Flash is crashing on me, and we need an effort to point those people to SUMO, where we have the answers for that kind of stuff. That might be one of the most efficient uses of time for Facebook support.
Yeah. So my suggestion is let's take this offline. Let's discuss in the contributor forum, and let's compare this with our current activities with Facebook support, see how it relates, and then we can figure out what the appropriate solution is.
I think at the very least we could point from the contributor news and resources page to this. I mean, a few of the people who are contributing are brand new contributors that we onboarded from the Get Involved list. I think Garrett is one of them that I onboarded that ended up helping with this project. I think for some contributors, this is just like a more fun way to do support. So at least from that page, we could link people if Facebook is like the thing that they like to do.
I think that's a good idea. I like that idea.
I mean, it's really easy to change that page. It wouldn't, I mean, I don't think there's going to be like a major, a lot of traffic going from there to Facebook, but StatDev, it might help you get more contributors who like, being on Facebook more than other sites.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like a good suggestion.
Just as a start.
So but that's what I mean, though. Is I'd like to understand, like I'd like to take a more holistic approach on our Facebook support and understand how this relates to the responding directly to the comments in the Firefox account, and then based on that, we could figure out a broader strategy and figure out where this fits in. So that I feel like we can't solve in this meeting. So I propose we take that in the control forum. But it's a good suggestion. I just want to try to understand the full picture before we home in on a particular solution.
Yeah, that was my suggestion as well from the beginning, was to try to discuss this offline, because it's a big discussion and we need to see how we can actually integrate everything with our Facebook support, because right now it seems that our goals are a bit different, so let's try to kind of make them similar, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can make this we can like make it a discussion about it on the contributor forum and see how it goes. And then Sadav, I can also discuss with you in private. We can do a Skype, if that's okay.
All right, we should move on because it's already 35 minutes in. Time flies. Thanks, Sata. Thanks for the presentation, and thanks for doing kick-ass support on Facebook. It really makes a difference. Cheng, are you ready for the Python status update, or do you want to?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Can I do it after everyone else's status?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other roundtable topics?
Can I actually go next and sort of just finish my part?
Okay.
Am I still breaking up?
Nope.
Do I sound better?
We'll see. We'll
Okay.
figure out.
Okay, I'll try going through my update. It's just gonna be a quick one. There are just 2 documents that I think you need to review, which is the mobile version of the website. It's like a little more than halfway down the UX updates, and also the Firefox OS or B2G document. So if you refresh the page, I made some error on the formatting there. So I may, because Firefox OS, B2G, and Marketplace is going to be important sort of very soon in the future. And our IA was designed with multiple products, but I think now that we know the support scope for the KB, we might need to modify the IA to fit Firefox OS and Marketplace, fit them both. So I made the start of the document for I tried sorting the topics inside of Firefox OS sort of KB document space, tried sorting them into our existing IA category system, and see if that works or if we need a new category or not. So feel free to go into that document. It's on the very bottom of the page, and sort of add topics where you kind of see fits. Right now, I think I managed to sort sort of every article topic into existing categories we already have, but I think I'm missing something. Like I think there needs category about features maybe on the Firefox OS and Marketplace.
Hey,
that same
Rob.
topic. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, you're beginning to break up again. So
Okay.
so you're saying that you would like people to look at the wireframes for the mobile side? That's what you're saying, right? You would like feedback on that?
Yeah. I like people to look at the mobile version of the wireframes and give me feedbacks on it.
Okay.
That's item number 1. And then look at the how I sorted the Firefox OS at least topics, or maybe it is too early, but at least look at it and see if we need new categories in the IA or not, because the information space is probably going to be pretty small, but it's going to be distributed across many different apps. You have the dialer, settings, SMS, photo, video, gallery, etc. So we might need different information space for the Firefox OS. We might not. So that's a question I'm trying to figure out, because if, right, I mean, if we need a information
Okay,
space,
hey, Rob, you're breaking up again. So I'm going to summarize what you're saying. You want feedback on the wireframes for the mobile website, and you want comments and feedback on the categorization of the topics, even though that might be early. So I'm going to say that Michelle is the owner of mobile and Firefox OS, and so you should be the main person to give feedback, in addition to Michael, who's the owner of the IA. So in our work week that we had last week, we assigned different ownership for different components of the website, and so I feel like this is something that probably not the whole team needs to be involved with, but primarily Michelle and Michael in this case.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds
I've
good.
taken a look at it. Bram, thanks very much for doing this. I saw your email last week, and I appreciate you putting the topics into a spreadsheet. So, I mean, this is very similar to what I had in mind, the way that you've organized the topics. And so we can talk about any differences, but I think we're pretty much on the same page. And as far as a hierarchy, I think, David, you're right, we're a little bit early to decide if we need to change the hierarchy. I think we can fit into what you guys have already have planned. But I mean, that's my goal, is to fit into what you already have planned. But let's talk more about the task-based stuff. Roland and I started talking about how to organize around the tasks that are goals for sort of from the marketing perspective to make sure that people understand. So I think we can talk more about that.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Thanks
All
for
right,
doing
great.
this.
Thanks, Bram.
Yeah, feel free to schedule meetings, and I'm gonna go back to sleep. Good night.
All right, thanks.
Or good morning.
The two doctors are very helpful.
See ya.
You know what's cool
See ya.
is that I think now if I ran into Brahm on the street, I would recognize him now.
Well, it
That's
depends
very
if
cool.
it's Kiwi Brahm or the. Just kidding.
Well, yeah, he just cut his hair too. So he looks
Yeah, I
good.
know the new haircut's kind of like it's hard for me. Like, is that really him? I mean, I don't know.
He's changing again. He's changing again.
Well, enjoy your dreams. Hope hope the move is going well for you, and thanks for the update. All right,
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right. So the last. So just to get everyone on the same page, one of the things that we discussed during our work week last week was improving the efficiency of meetings. So in the spirit of that, I would like to suggest that if you have updates that are kind of an FYI updates for these meetings, just put them on the wiki page and don't necessarily feel like you have to talk through them, because it's mostly boring and tedious and you know, sometimes just a waste of time. So focus rather on the stuff that you need to discuss, things that we haven't settled, decisions that need to be made, or you know, the kind of more difficult things that you feel like, or stuff that you need help with, for example. Those type of things should really be what we should be discussing. So in the spirit of that, I'm looking at the wiki page now for the meetings, and I don't see a lot, but if you have updates, this meeting I'm going to let you talk about it because you were unprepared, and some of you may not have already put it on the wiki page. So for this meeting, I'm going to ask you to provide updates to make sure that we don't miss anything. But moving forward, please update the wiki page before the meeting with status updates, and don't talk about them unless it's really, really important for everyone to really not miss it, or if it's something where there's actually discussion involved, such as making decisions, call for help, and whatnot. All right, so the last kind of non-update topic we have is metrics. So we should take a look at the KPI dashboard, but then the rest of it is really status updates, it looks like. And Kadir, I think Kadir is taking the day off. I think he said that he would take the day off today. So he's not going to talk this through. I'm curious about how we're tracking against things like answer questions, how things have been holding up while we have been basically in a bunker for the last 7 days. And it looks like it's been slightly reflected.
Yeah.
Any comments? Madalena, have you had a look at the numbers?
Hey, one thing I just noticing the number of questions last week, Wednesday and Thursday after the release, higher than any time since like February.
Number of questions?
Yep.
Yeah. This is why we have a lower answer rate as well, around 92%.
But on the days that we had the highest number of questions, those still have like 95% answer rates. It was before that is like the biggest dip where we actually had pretty low number of questions, only 70 questions, but 84% answered. But that was like on the beginning of our work week. Just you can see the difference, I guess, of us being gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that I think we should also take into consideration the fact that it's July, almost August, so a lot of people are away,
Yep.
both users and contributors.
Yep.
So I think it's normal to have like a lower rate both of answers and of questions. But anyway, we should look into that. And actually, I know that Tyler was doing a bit more of digging. So, Tyler, we can actually talk a bit about this to see like what kind of questions have appeared and so forth.
So
Yeah, we can do that offline if you'd like.
Yeah.
I was just going to say we had a release on Tuesday. There are quite a few things that happened during that release. So that's probably why we have a bunch more questions. As to why we have fewer answers, I don't have an answer to that.
So the more important thing that I note when I look at the KPI is that for the first time ever, since we tracked this metric, I shouldn't say that. No, not for the first time. For the first time in a year, the number of not helpful votes are higher than the number of helpful votes. So something happened in the last week, and I'm wondering if do we have any idea why that is and what that means? Which article specifically are we getting very low helpfulness votes on?
I don't know, but I would speculate it has something to do with either Flash, YouTube, and or performance.
Wait,
Matt, did you do any analysis? Do you know anything more than Cheng on this?
No, I mean, I think Cheng's right. We've got a lot of big ticket items right now. It's just a mess.
What votes are we talking about?
Helpful votes on the KB.
Helpful votes on the KB.
Yep. See, the red line is going up over the blue line for the first time in ages.
May last year.
Okay, but those are totally different things. One is helpful votes in the forum, and one is helpful votes in the KB. They're just
My bad.
on the same graph.
Yes. Sorry. I totally forgot about that. I thought it was yes and no. And of course not. Because it would always be 100%. Right.
Sorry. Yeah, it looks like the answer votes are doing poorly, and that's related to the fact that our
No, the answer votes
Actually, they're
went up.
doing better. The
The
forum votes
forums
The
forums are more helpful during this release than ages. So it's actually good news.
Okay.
I
lied.
Okay.
It's on that since May last year.
Okay. So good news is that we haven't answered. This is best turnaround in ages in this meeting.
That's just for today so far, is what that is.
Okay, yeah. So maybe it doesn't even count. All right. Sorry for wasting everybody's time. Let's. Anything else we should point out with the KPIs? Anything of note? I see that Eltanan is recovering nicely.
For the moment, here we go.
For the moment. Okay. So let's do updates. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Michael. So we have a lot of updates for Firefox 15. So we're gonna we're gonna be soon seeing the Eltanan metric dropping. But if you look at the number of active contributors, you see that it has been increasing. Since the last 2 months. So I just wanted to point out that thanks for everyone localizing.
Yeah. So
do we know if the alternate coverage is going to be able to be graphed into weekly and monthly? Because I mean the daily is pretty misleading because of all this actually.
This is something that maybe we can cover in a different meeting, but I'm working to see what's the best way of displaying the Eltanan coverage and trying to make sure that maybe we have the coverage before the updates for the new release are in place, so that we try to cover that point where we have the best coverage, and then we see how we're doing.
Kind of like the racing that we do for the releases on
the update.
Firefox. Update, yeah, that's the word.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ivan. I'm sorry.
The graphs about the uptake that you can see in the metrics dashboard.
Oh yeah.
With
Yeah.
how fast we ended up in the 100.
Exactly. That's something
a really good idea.
Yeah, this is something that we can look at.
So you're saying that you're working on figuring out a better way of representing the alternate coverage.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, like we know how the alternate coverage is roughly, but it's very it's not very encouraging to see that it drops from one day, and it's trying to figure out a way of saying, hey, there's work that needs to be done, but also recognizing the hard work. And I think that this graph doesn't really it's not very motivating sometimes.
Yeah. So do you need any help from anyone on the team on figuring that out, or it's more of or do you already have an idea? It sounded like you had an idea there, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it, and maybe I'll pick your brain, Ibai, and then we can look.
Okay.
Okay. Knowledge base.
Yep, the big thing, Rosanna already said there's lots of updates to do, but even bigger in terms of localization is all those summaries. So they still haven't been marked ready for localization. And so, Rosanna, we should talk maybe later today about a plan for that. So that's the big thing. That will probably literally take the localization coverage down to single digits or something. Every top article got a new summary, almost every single one, I think. So, yeah.
How we're gonna communicate this, because obviously, it's gonna feel very bad for all the locales when they see that everything's dropping. So.
Well, and so we need to talk about the titles and the summaries and why we changed them and what the benefit of localizing the new titles and summaries are. That kind of stuff. Yep.
Okay, so Michael, you will work with Rosanna on communicating that?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay.
I'm just saving the wiki page updates. So there's a postmortem today on version 14 for Google Play reviews for 14. Just before 14.01, I did analysis of like 3,500 reviews. So for that group, because the tablet stuff, tablets being blocked is still causing a lot of low reviews. But for the 3,500 reviews just before 14.01, the overall rating was 4.25, which really is our goal for the year. So, that's just a small number of reviews, but I haven't seen it that high for a grouping. I just do chunks, right? Like 3,000 at a time usually. So I was super excited to see that last week. I do expect, based on that this week we will get to 4 stars in Google Play.
Okay.
We're still at 3.7. Right. The goal is 4.5 for the year, but once you get to 4.25, it will show us 4.5 in the Play Store.
Oh, that's
right?
what they meant with this graph.
Well, I don't know if that's what they mean, but I know this is true. And really, when you look at the Play Store, it's the perception, right? Like nobody's looking. People can look at those raw numbers, but so I'm encouraged by that. I continue to be encouraged by it. We got a good spike of installs for 14.01 last week, and just looking at stuff for 15, scoping what changes there are for 15 and what doc updates we need to make.
And it keeps going up too. So we might actually hit 4.5 at the end of the year.
I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. questions about version 15, I'll get plans on that and what we need help with onto the contributor forum this week.
Great. Good, thanks. Marketplace services. Any others?
Nothing to report on this week.
Support forum, anything? We did talk about it, so I'm assuming no. Thunderbird.
It's nothing to add. I updated the wiki. Support report tomorrow.
Okay. All right, so that's
So I'll put notes in the wiki after this meeting. We did get a draft from from some of the partner contacts of their support plans. So we spent some time talking about it as a team last week, as you all know. So I'll update our plans and send them to the partners this week. And Ebi and I are going to meet with them again this week to talk through the details. So we're all on the same page.
okay. So yeah, last but not least, the 5.6.
Alright, so the status update is updates are currently throttled, which means that if you manually go to help about Firefox, you'll get an update, but otherwise you won't. We have a major startup crash, and we also have a bunch of other issues that I've just listed there. And I'll do a proper feedback summary work. And I wanted to call out Tyler for actually working with a bunch of users to help the devs on the startup crash issue. Since I was preoccupied last week, more so than I should have been. So thanks for taking that.
Speaking of Firefox status update, we should probably rename that to Firefox Desktop and put that along with the other products to make it more consistent. All right, that's the end of this meeting.
Yeah.
Everyone have a wonderful evening / morning / day / night, I guess. And see you all at night.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.